Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Rosalind. I'm an intuitive reader, and I like to talk about healing, and I love to, that's the basis of what I love to do my readings on. I feel like most of them come with a message that allows a person to continue on their healing journey, or the message is just to help them close a chapter. It's really just different for everybody, but a lot of the times it has healing undertones to it. It's not just like, this is what's going to happen. It's like, this is what you are struggling with and what you need to work through in order to open up to your full potential and have the light and energy and motivation you need to be able to carry on to achieve the goals that you want to achieve. Um, so let's see what Spirit has in store for us today. I'm going to start off with the Energy Oracle cards. I love these cards to get an idea of what the energy is for our message. And used to, I felt like these messages I'll just make a video for about the week ahead. And now it's just like, this is a message that people need to hear that's just kind of relevant right now. Yeah, so it's kind of morphed into what it needed to morph into, and hopefully one day it'll morph into something bigger. Okay, so yeah, we got some good cards here. We're going to go ahead and clarify. I think I'm going to pull a card from each of my favorite decks. So this is my all-time favorite. It's the one that I work with most. It is the one that I feel it does an incredible job. I've been connected with this deck since the moment I got it, and it is the Psychic Tarot Oracle deck by Mr. John Holland. It's beautiful. The cards are gorgeous. The artwork is amazing and easy to connect to. All right. One more. This deck is also by Mr. John Holland. It is the Psychic Tarot of the Heart, and this deck is about all things connecting to our heart. And it doesn't really necessarily mean our love life or anything like that. I don't technically think this is, for me, is a relationship deck. It is more of a relationship with yourself deck, if that makes sense. Let's see. Okay. So we have 12 cards here all together. I love a big reading sometimes. I really do. Okay, so the first card that we have is the Temple Path, clarified by the heart chakra reversed, and just breathe. And boy, I am feeling this, okay? I have felt this pressure on my chest lately, like, oh man, I just can't take a breath deep enough right now. And I can tell you this is all because we need healing right now. Like we are shifting into this period, especially I feel it today. Like we are just shifting into this period of change. We've got to find what we are holding on to that is not working for us, because it is imperative to our healing on this journey, okay? So with these three cards, the Temple Path, this is where we're heading. We are trying to get on this path of healing so we can evolve into our highest selves. And for me, the way I understand healing in our spiritual journey, our journey as spirits, because we are souls, spirits in a vessel right now. Like our body is not who we are, it is just a car we are driving right now. So, our evolution as a spirit, we are trying to reach, basically, it's going to sound very Buddhist, enlightenment. We're trying to reach our highest self of purest light, of love, and be in that space. Okay, that is our goal. We are trying to reach. We come to Earth in this carnation to go through these trials. It's like the school of life, basically, for our soul, and how we change and evolve and grow in this is what's important. Okay, our main goal is to go through all of this crap and still come out on the other side with a heart full of love and compassion, instead of one that is cold and bitter and hateful. Okay, like that's our goal. When we are hateful and we are bitter and we are just not okay mentally, like in such a negative headspace and heart space, we're not growing, we're not evolving. Like we're in the middle of the test and we're failing. And it happens to all of us. It's just really about how we react and what we do to come out of that. Like we have to put in that work and effort. But this heart space reverse and this just breathe reverse means our heart is closed. Okay. So we have all these walls put up right now. We're not letting people in. We are not letting them get close to us. And we're having this problem with just breathing. And breath is life. Okay. When we need to be able to inhale as much as we can so we can live. But our heart is so closed. And when our heart is closed, we can't let the love of life come in. Okay. And then we have over here yin yang clarified by financial and material changes reversed and love abounds. So this is telling me that we're kind of flowing really hard right now in like I feel like we're going upstream, like we are fighting the current on this. This is what it's coming across to me as. This is what I'm seeing. I feel like we are fighting, we are trying to swim upstream. We are fighting everything to protect that heart space. Okay, we're just protecting ourselves. And it's stopping us to be able to from changing the things around us, for seeing anything different, for pursuing better things. Okay, because we don't have all this love coming in right now because we have blocked it off. Whether it's we feel unworthy or we think, man, if I just protect myself from people and things and thoughts and feelings, then I'm untouchable and I'm not going to be miserable. But when we are cutting off that connection, we're automatically miserable. We are cutting off our connection to everything, to ourselves, especially. Okay, because we're like, I'm not listening to you because you're not happy right now, or these thoughts are bad, or this is uncomfortable. So we just shove it back down. And 5 years later, it's still there. It's still hurting. It still wants your attention, and it's always going to want your attention until you address it. And this is why we have to open that heart space. We have to deal with these uncomfortable feelings and thoughts. And we have to let that love just flow into us so we can become it. Okay, we have to let it in so we can let it out. And then over here we have the door to personal health and happiness reversed, clarified by power reverse and coming together. Y'all, that is like almost self explanatory to me. Okay, so we are standing in the way of our own happiness, we are standing in the way of our own health. And this is because we feel powerless. We have laid down our power, our strength. We feel like we are not capable of doing things because it just feels too hard. And y'all, we are capable. We are more than capable. We are worthy. We are amazing. Okay, we just have to see that in ourselves. And when we take our power back, when we feel like, oh, this person cannot control me, this situation cannot control me, it does not get to dictate how I feel, how I think, what I do. Okay, I am trying to act in love. Okay, and we just have to be in love all the time. Even though it's difficult, we have to come back to that space of love and compassion for ourselves and for the other people. And when we do this, we take our power back. Okay, when we stand up for ourselves, we take our power back. When we put ourselves first in a world that tells us we should put ourselves last, we take our power back. Because we start filling up our own cup and we start overflowing to everybody else. We're like, I'm doing great. I can give to you all day long, no problem. Okay, and that's the coming together. When we take our power back, we are able to bring people together that are supposed to be in our lives, not people that drain us of our energy. We're flowing with people that are able to help us keep our cup full and help them fill theirs. Next, we have the seventh chakra reverse, and this is the Archangel Uriel. I don't know much about the archangels, okay? I don't even like read these books that these cards come with to know what the cards mean. I do everything intuitively, okay? It just makes more sense that way to me. But anyway, this seventh chakra reverse is this lack of connection with spirit. Like we're always connected, but it feels like now it's kind of shut off. A lot of people are shutting it out because our hearts are closed. And like for me, specifically, I feel like when our heart is more open, our connection with spirit, because spirit is nothing but love and light, okay? Like that's what we are transformed into. Like we don't ever like when we die, we don't nothing really dies. We just kind of our energy shifts into something else. Pure energy, pure love, pure light, all of that. Okay? So this means when this card comes up reversed, it makes me feel like we're just not as open and connected as we need to be. And a lot of that is just because we are ignoring what Spirit has to say, because Spirit wants us to confront our demons. Spirit wants us to fight that battle so we can be on their level, so we can be that much closer to what we're meant to be, to who we truly are, to our evolution, so we can evolve to the next level. That's what Spirit wants. They want us to be able to meet them halfway, and we can't meet them halfway if we're way down here in a negative, broken feeling kind of space. Okay, like Spirit is, we're talking dimensions. Spirit's like 5D. Okay, we're up here. Boop boop. Spirit's way up there. When we are in a negative, really bad mental space, we're doing bad things, we're poisoning ourselves, we are falling into bad habits, we have addictions and all kinds of shit. We're way down here. We're not connected with Spirit. We are not connected with our higher self. We are basically just chilling with the devil, for the people that want to put it that way. Okay, the clarification card on this is obstacles and challenges and then flow. Okay, so the obstacles and challenges, like, it's basically we have to look at things that we've been through, and we're going to keep going through these challenges. This is part of it. And Spirit is putting us through these challenges. They, like I said, they want us to fight these demons so we can flow freely into their space, so we don't feel so contained. We can, it's like trying to put the ocean in a box. Okay? We are the ocean, and when we have these low level thoughts and feelings and addictions and habits and all that negative stuff, when we have that, it's like putting the ocean in a box. You're trying to contain something that does not deserve to be contained. Okay, we are trying to say this one little box of water is all that we are, and it's not all that we are. Okay, it's just not. We are so much more than that. And there's so much of us that is overflowing that it can wash out what is in that box. Okay? Like, we don't have to say that that box of water is who we are when we're the entire ocean. And I hope that makes sense. It feels like I can see it in my head and everything just totally makes sense. And that's how it is with Spirit. Like, it makes sense in here, but trying to articulate it is a little difficult because they just they speak so refined and they show me these images that are just so intense and so beautiful that it's hard to put that into words. I was wondering what our message was going to be about today, and when I was getting ready for this, Spirit was bringing to my awareness, they're like, talk about healing. That's what we're going to talk about today. And it's my favorite subject. I think everybody should go to therapy. I think everybody should have access to mental health because I'll tell you why it's so important. Tell you why getting mental health help is important and not giving up on it, because man, it's so easy to want to give up on it because that shit's hard. It's hard. Oh my gosh, I was in therapy for forever and it was difficult, especially in the beginning. I wanted to quit all the time. And then as I was on that journey, Spirit kept showing me why it was important for me to keep carrying on. Because when our head is in such a strong mental warfare, our heart is too. Our heart is trying, so like, we basically, because our inner child lives in our heart, we are just beating that child down. And when we are children, that is our purest form. Like, purest form. Kids don't know. They don't let that negativity and hateful shit just sink in. Like, they don't care about that stuff. They're pure love, and like, that's all they want. But we're beating that inner child down, and it's important to get our mental health in check because it helps our spirit. When we connect our mind and our heart and our soul and our body and all of that, when all of that is on the same level, it is an amazing feeling. And it helps our soul evolution, because when we go to therapy and we work through the traumas, they're helping us. They're like, it's not sticking a band-aid on something, like they are really helping us heal this wound. Okay? And it's like, a lot of the times our emotional wounds are infected and we don't even know it until we realize, like when we are explosive and angry or just super sad all the time, we're constantly in emotional pain and turmoil. Like, we have some pretty nasty wounds festering that need attention. And we're not going to just get that taken care of on our own. It's not going to go away through drugs and alcohol and numbing. It's going to go away through trying different types of therapies that really help us open up. Like for some people, like for me, talk therapy, I need that. I need to be able to talk about things. I feel like the biggest problem that we have as people is that we go around feeling so unheard, unseen all the time. We feel because people outside of ourselves don't give us that validation, they don't give us that time of day. Like, I couldn't tell you how many times I've started a conversation and somebody just like walked away from me while I'm trying to talk to them, or they like blatantly look like they don't care. And I'm like, oh, never mind. I'll just shut up and walk away. Like, sometimes just having somebody that you can talk to, that listens, and that can give you good advice, because sometimes our friends do not have good advice. Okay. You can't just go ask a untrained, unhealthy, mentally unhealthy person who is, just as bad as you are at the moment for advice. Because we don't always see things clearly, and how can we tell somebody what to do or what they should do when our own judgment's super clouded? And I feel like this is for everyone, myself included. Like, okay, sometimes I go through bouts of depression that I'm like, oh man, like who am I to help anybody? But these are the things that are important, okay? And I know a lot of people are like resistant. They're like, ew, therapy, because there's a stigma around it. But like, when you find the right therapist, when you find the person that makes you feel comfortable, like you can talk to them, that you can open up, that you feel seen and you feel heard, like, man, your whole life changes. When you have one person that shows you like just basic human decency and respect that you have always deserved, like, you're like, I'm not going to settle for anything less. So keep that in mind. These are the things that Spirit wanted me to talk about. And maybe one day I'll make a video about like my own personal experiences. I don't know. Like, making videos is kind of weird. Like, this one's almost 20 minutes long. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I hope this was helpful. I'm going to be available for readings. If anybody would like a reading, message me. We will figure it out. I'm going to be in St. Louis next week. So I won't be around next week, but if you would like a reading sometime this week or the week after, just let me know, and we will get our schedules aligned so we can make it happen. I love giving readings, and it's not about the money. It was never about the money. This is part of my spiritual journey, and when I realized that I could connect with people on such a deep level, all I want to do is connect with people on this deep level, and I want to help them. I want to connect them with their higher selves and help them just learn to be and be in this world in a content kind of way. So I love you all. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I will see you all later.